All right, so we're here for lesson 5. We are going to be solving equations today using solving steps if you can't use mental math. So remember, our two ask yourself questions are, what's happening to the variable, and how can I undo it? So on this side, they're all going to be multiplication or division equations, and this side is all subtraction and addition. So over here, the x is being multiplied by 6, so I am going to divide both sides by 6. And on this side, I'm going to have x left, and on this side, 42 divided by 6 is 7. So what was happening to the variable is it was being multiplied by 6. How I undid it is I divided by 6. Over here, the variable g is being added with 12. So what's the undoing of adding 12? I'm going to subtract 12 from each side. And over here, I have g left. And on this side, 27 minus 12 is 15. And when I should have mentioned this earlier, these are all just similar problems to your problems. They are not the same, but they're the same kind. So this one's a multiplication, this one's an addition. So this happens in the same way, it works in the same way. On this side, 12 equals 2p. Try and think to yourself, what's happening to the variable p? Yep, it's being multiplied by 2, so we're going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. This side, I have 6 equals p. It's okay to leave your answer like that. If you want, you can rewrite it as p equals 6. Up to you. H is being subtracted with 5. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. On this side, I have h. On this side, I have 19. That's my solution. And in all of these, I want to go back at the end and I want to check. So 6 times x equals 42. If I do 6 times 7 equals 42, is that true? Yeah, it is. So I found the correct solution. So you want to go back and check all of these later. Y divided by 5 equals 4. Y is being divided by 5. I'm going to do undoing step. So on this side I have y left, and on this side I have 20. Because y was being divided by 5, so I multiplied by 5. Okay, on this side, x is being added with 31. I'm going to subtract 31. I get x equals 14. Again, go back and check. This one, t is being multiplied by 10. I'm going to divide both sides by 10. T equals 27. On this side, e is being added with 217. I'm going to subtract 217. E equals, and I need to figure out what 356 minus 217 is, so I'm just going to do it on the side. 4. This is a 4 minus 1 is 3. So I get E equals 139. Remember, these aren't the same answers as your paper. These are just my examples. On the back, a little trickier. What's happening to m? It's being multiplied by 10, so I'm going to divide both sides by 10. And I get m equals 9 divided by 10. I can write that as 9/10. 9 divided by 10. Done. Don't need to change it in any way. Just leave it as 9 divided by 10. On this side, t is being added with 9.3. I'm going to subtract 9 3/10 from both sides. 11.5 minus 9.3, or 11 5/10 minus 9 3/10. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So I'm going to do it over here. 5 minus 3, 2. 0 is 11, 2. So I get t equals 2 2/10. Great. Over here, 8x equals 9.6. X is being multiplied by 8, so I am going to divide both sides by 8. X equals, I'm just going to write it as 9.6 divided by 8. That's all. Done. That's allowed. B minus 4 2/10 equals 18 4/10. I'm going to add 4 2/10 to both sides because 4 2/10 was being subtracted. So on this side I have B. This side I'm going to do some math on the side here. I get 22.6. Cool. Done. For some of these fraction ones, what's happening to x? It's being multiplied by 2/7. Luckily, you know how to divide fractions, so we're going to divide both sides by 2/7. And I'm going to do some math over here. 3/4 divided by 2/7. I'm going to rewrite that as multiplying by the reciprocal. and I get 21/8. So on this side I have x, and on this side I have 21/8. Watch at the end of the video if you want that one broken down a little bit more. That one's tricky. For these ones, I have h minus 2 1/5 equals 5 3/5. So I'm going to need to add 2 1/5 to both sides. H equals, and I know that this is 7 wholes, and 3/5 plus 1/5 is 4/5. Cool. Again, this one works the same way as these two. I know that 13 is being multiplied with x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 13. Get x equals 25 divided by 13. Done. Don't have to do anything else. That's an answer. Then over here, m is being added with 5, 6, so I'm going to subtract 5, 6 from both sides. I'm going to do some math over here. 6 1/3 minus 5, 6. Find a common denominator here. So 6 and 2, 6. That's the same as 6 1/3 minus 5, 6. And I actually will need to change this into an improper fraction. So I get 38, 6 minus 5, 6. And the answer to that is 33, 6. Let's leave it like that. So this one I think was the trickiest. If you're still stuck on this one, just remember you are dividing both sides by 2/7 because x is being multiplied by 2/7. And then you're doing fraction division. We know that dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So here's the answer that I get when I do 3/4 divided by 2/7. All right, I hope this helped, and I hope you can go back and get started on your own classwork. Remember to ask yourself, what's happening to the variable, and how can I undo it?